Hi, everyone, and welcome to Legal Limelight. Today's guest is Taylor, who is otherwise known as Legal Miga. She was one of the first people I found on Instagram and one of the people who inspired me actually to create my account. I'm not even sure that she knows that, but I'm really excited to chat with her today. She's one of the leaders in this space and she's totally killing it. Hey, Taylor, I'm bringing you up right now. Hey guys, it's good to see you all. This is going to be a good one. Hey, Taylor,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm really well, and I was just saying before how you were one of the people who inspired me to create my account back in 2020.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
No, it's amazing. Okay, so without further ado, everyone please meet Taylor, who goes by Legal Miga. She runs her Instagram account and an entire trademark and intellectual property related business. I'm really excited to pick your brain today. I know that this one's going to be big. Your audience is probably all here and excited to see you talk as well.
I hope so.
Okay, so tell us like a little bit about your background, how you got started in law, and like what was one of your first jobs right out of law school?
Oh my goodness. I kind of am one of, you probably know those attorneys that are like, I knew my whole life that I wanted to go to law school. I think I just like grew up thinking that. Um, so yeah, that was my goal since like college, making sure to hopefully get good enough grades. I didn't have the best grades though. I worked right out of college. I actually was a legal assistant just to kind of see like, do I actually want to do this? Is this doable? Is this fun? And I am one of the weirdos that liked it. So I went to law school the year after. And then right out of law school, I had been working at a civil litigation firm in Pasadena, and they gave me part-time position through my clerkship, which I was super grateful for because it was really hard to find a job at that point. So yeah.
Wow. No, it's like you have to get started somewhere. I went right out of law school and I feel like the people who like I thought it was just year 5 of college.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I noticed that I think the people who have gotten experience before end up doing a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I had heard from a couple people that went to law school. They were like, go work somewhere legal related and see if you like this. I don't know if it was them projecting or like truly just trying to give good advice. I want to think it's the latter, but I'm really glad that I went and worked somewhere so you can see the like admin side of what it looks like, which was doable. I'm into that stuff, so
So then how did you end up in your practice area?
oh my gosh. I went to law school in Los Angeles at Southwestern with the ultimate goal of going into transactional entertainment. And I had some really good professors, courses, but like really difficult to find a job in that area out here, even though we are like the land of all the movie studios. I think I'm a really bad interviewer. I just am going to pin it on that. Um, so I just like didn't give up. I ended up working in civil lit for a while, for a couple of years. I went into a very niche area in consumer protection, actually suing banks. So like going after businesses. And then I just finally was like, I really want to do what I had been wanting to do this entire time. Like, how do I get myself into this? Saw other attorneys that were doing it and was like, I'm just gonna have to try and figure this out and apply what I know, learn what I need to, and like jump in, and it thankfully worked.
That's amazing. So, like, did anyone inspire you to really take a bet on yourself and go that direction?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. A couple like Instagram attorneys. Um, Michelle. Oh my gosh, what's her last name? She's like one of my great friends, and I don't know her last name right now. She's a trademark attorney. Um, what's the other one? I don't. Daphne, I think the Mama attorney. I saw that she was doing stuff, and then Brittany something. something. I don't know her last name. Just a bunch of attorneys, and like seeing that there was a space for us to hop in and represent clients that we liked. It was pretty inspiring to see that.
It's amazing. You built like this huge community.
Yeah, that was, I didn't know that I knew that I could do that, but I'm really glad that I was able to.
So did it take you a little bit to get started? And when did you start feeling like all the traction come in?
Uh, Probably around, I mean, I really fortunately picked up some um, pretty like well-known clients in the like Latinx business owner space, which really helped me just because I feel like we don't have a lot of attorneys. Our numbers are pretty low. So
Mm-hmm.
knowing that type of attorney that can handle this type of area and then also feeling comfortable that they're going to represent you culturally, how you think that your business needs to be represented. I was really lucky to land some like really clutch clients early on, and they just were like fantastic referrals from the get-go.
It's amazing.
That and then just like spending way too much time on Instagram for like hours, just forever. I mean, I like it, but it's a lot.
And now it's different now, obviously. Tell us a little bit about what your life looks like now.
I would love to say that I don't spend that much time on socials, but I still spend a lot of time on. I just really enjoy that part. I was a communications major, so I just have really loved like social media and the power of what it can do. So I still spend a lot of at least like an hour to two a day, probably on socials, like interacting, creating content. But I have a VA that helps like push out some content here and there, but it's still a lot of time. I just like it.
Yeah, and obviously, like I think that's why you are excelling. Some lawyers just want to sit and do the work or like sit behind a desk. So would you say that like one of your skill, like one of the things you like is really the engagement and bringing in clients?
Yeah, I really like that part. And I recently like I finally met a client in person the other day, and she was like so surprised in a good way that I knew stuff about her life, and I was like, I'm the one running the account. Like I see things that are happening in people's lives, like, and I think that makes a huge difference when you're able to connect with the client on that level because they don't feel like they were just baited in by something else. I don't know. I really leave my messages to me. I don't have a lot of help with that yet, but I think it also helps with the relationship because that's what a lot of clients are looking for. They haven't had good relationships with attorneys.
Yeah, and by showing up on social, you're able to maintain that and build that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of time, but it's fun.
So then what is your day-to-day like look in the business? Do you have more people? I know tell us about your the models that you're using, which are really new and different that I love, and I think a lot of traditional firms are starting to think about.
Yeah, I was really inspired by attorneys that have a subscription-based model. Just because as a brand new business owner, I was like, I am not comfortable with this whole, I don't know how much money is coming in each month. And we still are about 50-50 subscription based, project based. So it's never a guaranteed of what we know is coming in, but at least feeling a little bit more comfortable with some sort of subscription based model was something that made me feel like, okay, I can do this. I can still work on projects that I want to. But there's a lot of, well, not a ton, but there's a good number of attorneys that are doing that type of model. I've worked with Kim Bennett and still work with her, and she's been using that model for her clients for a really long time. So that's been really fun to kind of build out, but also see like what clients need. It's like we've changed over the years, like what's included and what clients get. But I think the ones that are in it really do kind of prefer that to like me billing hourly every time we chat.
Yeah, it's awesome. I don't do hourly. I do flat fees. I'm still exploring too. I haven't done subscription yet, but tell us like a little bit about the why you're competitive and like why you guys for your subscription.
Yeah, I mean, we really focus on the I really like to focus in on first on like the cultural aspect of really understanding, because a lot of our clients are like first generation business owner. A lot of them are first generation college students, graduate students, and understanding that experience and how it plays into your business. And I mean, I like this is my first business. Maybe one person on the other side of my family had a business previously, but like, I don't know, but I just learned all this stuff. So being able to share that connection is really important. And then also just being able to like understand the online lingo.
Yeah.
A lot of clients do random digital like course creation stuff, and when you are also offering and selling those types of things, I feel like they feel more comfortable talking to you and that you're going to understand it versus maybe a more traditional attorney that doesn't really understand.
Still doesn't know what a coach is,
Yeah.
or yeah, USPTO
Yep.
still have to explain stuff. No, I love that. I love that you started with that, because I think obviously the Legal Miga brand speaks to your culture and really understanding and work, like, you know, your target market and people feel comfortable. I've had clients come to me and have literally like thanked me at the end of the conversation being like, thank you for not like making me feel dumb. I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I make you feel dumb? Like, that was my initial reaction. Like, why would I make you? And then like, it's like, oh, it's because most lawyers talk like almost intentionally, right? Like, we're like, we need to articulate things in such technical terms, and if we skip something, and I do you agree that like being on social has helped you just communicate a little bit better and bring it down a notch?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like being able to show like, I mean, I have a home office. I am never in fancy clothes. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't been to court in over a year. I think that, I mean, I don't know. We know that we exist, but I think clients don't immediately think of lawyers like us. So
Yeah.
it's really refreshing for them to be like, "Oh my gosh, okay, this is nice." And I mean, I had the same experience. Like a childhood friend of mine is now my dentist, and I feel so comfortable with her. But in my head, I was like, why did I not think that this was a possibility? Like there's younger, like more hip professionals out there that get it, that understand me, but I guess it's just like the reputation that we have.
Yeah, it's like this, well, it's disarming and it's great. And then also, like, you've built up, I mean, I'm loving all these comments. Like, a couple people were saying how you're part of the community versus selling a service. Like, your people love you, and it's because you're on there, it's yourself, and they know, like, and trust you from all of your content.
Yeah, yeah, which is I'm so glad, but it's also like terrifying to put yourself out there. That was the really hard thing in the beginning of like not falling into that stereotype of like, oh, all my photos I need to be in a black suit in like a fancy office, and I need to like not do certain things. Like some of my family members were like, why are you posting that? Or like, why are you sharing that? And I'm like, it'll work. I hope. I hope it'll
It
work.
did. Did. And how long has it been, like, since you started?
Ooh, we just hit our 3 year mark in July.
That's not that long.
I know.
Holy.
I feel like it's only been like a year because I keep learning so many things.
No, it's awesome, and like, I'm trying to find like all of the people online who are like really killing it. Like, not just putting out content. I want the people who are building community and really leveraging this platform, because I want other people. I want new grads,
Yeah,
young attorneys, and also people who are at traditional firms to understand that like this is happening. This is the way of the world now.
yeah, yeah. I think I read the ABA report that came out recently, and I saw that only 7% of attorneys are marketing on Instagram,
Crazy.
and I was like, geez. I mean, I even feel like we're getting left a little behind with like TikTok and stuff.
Are you on TikTok?
I'm trying.
I think I saw you. I think I messaged you on TikTok, and then
It's hard.
Well, so what are you doing right now? Because I think this is helpful for other people to like figure out, because I think TikTok is the future, and obviously Instagram's not going to go anywhere. But like I think you're smart for getting on there. So like, what's your strategy with that?
I really didn't want to have to get on there. And I just like learning a new platform and how that works. I feel so comfortable with Instagram, but I think that there's a really good opportunity for exposure over there. I'm just
Yeah.
testing it out to see what the conversions look like. And I think it's a much younger audience, mature. I don't know. I don't know very many stats, but I'm just posting some stuff over there to see what it does. But we'll
I
see.
haven't had any conversions on TikTok yet, but like a ton, my Kardashian videos go crazy. Like people are obsessed with the Kardashians. It's kind of hilarious, and I mean, I'm just like, okay, like whatever. I think they're obviously like super smart in the sense where they're billionaires, so like let's see what they're doing from a legal perspective. But I
Yeah.
definitely think like the TikTok content is a different beast than the Instagram content. And
Yeah.
so for me, it's been like Instagram is where like my entrepreneurs, like female entrepreneurs, coaches are. TikTok is like people who want to learn and find entertainment and legal news interesting. And then LinkedIn is all like my like law firm in-house
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I
Do you
haven't
use LinkedIn?
I try. I haven't figured out LinkedIn yet either. I know that it's doable, but I think each platform has its like own little personality, and I feel like I've only figured out Instagram.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, like what I'm learning as a new entrepreneur, because I don't know if you know this, I'm not a solo. I'm at a firm. It's just the woman who runs it is a badass and like gets it and lets us do our own branding and marketing. Um, and so it's like trying to figure out how do I integrate social
Yeah.
while still being at a firm. But I
Uh,
think I've kind of like shown people like you could do it in your own way. It's not the end of
yeah.
the world.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely and I've also seen like firms do it really well too, where you feel like you're like part of their little family of attorneys.
Do you know Level Up?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm obsessed with
yeah.
them.
But that's like so good for all of us, for people to just see like lawyers are, we're mostly normal people.
Yeah, well, no, I've realized that there's people who don't want to be that.
Yeah,
Like they're intentionally doing things to kind of, because it's the way like we were almost taught, like to be really careful about your words. And I think it's this fear element too that also not a lot of female lawyers, not a lot of lawyers of color or Hispanic lawyers or minorities. So you look up and you only see one type of lawyer and like what they look like,
yeah,
and you think you have to follow that. But that's what I love about like all of us on here is like it looks, there's a million shades
yeah,
of being a lawyer.
yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, I think that like speaking to that type of client, like the Fortune 500 client is probably doesn't care what you're doing online, and they might not want to see that. But like, I also don't want to work with that type of client. Like, I've honed in on who I want to work with and where they're existing and where they're consuming stuff, and they like to see like just us being us.
Yeah, and you know what, if you do end up working, I've kind of come to the realization that yes, it's still a little bit stuffy, but like when I was posting some things on LinkedIn, a few of my like general counsel contacts were like, this is amazing. Whatever this is, we like
Yeah,
it. Because I
they,
worked at Denton's. I was like at the world's biggest firm as an associate and never posted anything.
yeah,
And then people are like giving good feedback. So
yeah.
I just kept doing it.
They want to try it.
And then when all those Gen Z attorneys are going to step into those roles,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
who's going to be there?
Yep. Exactly.
So I love everything that you're doing.
Thank
And like, I'm all over the place when it comes to social media, but I think Instagram is my main one. But I think the reason why you've been able to build your platform so well is because, like, and you're being very, very, very intentional and niche.
Yeah, I'm trying.
So, what advice do you have for, let's really say, like, the recent grads? So the ones that went to law school part virtual, they're now applying for jobs. They don't know what the market is. They see people like us.
Mm-hmm.
What is your advice to them?
I I would say like talk to or try and interact with as many different types of attorneys as you can, because I think the more perspectives you can get, the better. Like I was never going to be, I mean, I was in a mid-sized firm and was at 12 hours a day. And I was like, I can't do this. Like physically, I can't do this. So I don't even know how like big law people do it. So just trying to figure out like what people's day looks like in certain roles and like where they're working. I think that's really crucial. And we are not afraid to answer that stuff. Like I think younger grads are maybe kind of nervous to reach out, like they're bugging us. But like I always am like, here's what I do daily, and this is how we run it. So if this is interesting to you, like this is an option. But I think talking to as many attorneys as possible.
I love that. I love that. So, what is the best way for people to contact you?
Probably Instagram. Or
DMs.
yeah, DMs, or there's a link in my bio with some prompts.
Okay, amazing. And everyone, this was Taylor, aka Legal Miga. Taylor, I'm really glad we got to chat today. Thank you
I
so
know.
much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, we will be back here next Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Taylor and everyone, have an amazing rest of your day.
Have a good one. Bye.